Well, hello, hi, and welcome. My name is Kathy, and this is The Road to 60 as I live stream and create content for the next 31 days just to kind of give my channel a boost as I work on three different things. One is kind of tracking the days, hours, and work that leads up to my 60th birthday. I plan to run a half marathon. I know I got kind of off track with a whole arthritis situation, so I don't know if that's going to happen, but I am going to try to make it happen. But with this crazy heat, I've not been able to run like I thought I wanted to. So we shall see. It's yet to happen, but I have faith. I have faith. Additionally, I wanted to make sure I tried something new each day, whether it's using some of the tools on the internet to take something like my live and create a short, or whether I am trying a new device, maybe trying to create content through using my computer or using some of the action cameras I have. But in any case, I wanted to do something new or at least stretch my skills a bit. As my friend Luis, Mr. Camera Junkie, would say, upgrade the skills. So that's part of what this challenge is about. And for today, I outlined last week kind of how I wanted to take on this challenge is by doing two lives a week, two shorts a week, and as well as two main videos. And also the video that's probably not being counted in my 31 days, but I'm still doing is the live I do weekly with my brother on Sunday nights. Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. And because that does take a chunk of my time, to prepare for it, thumbnails and all the materials that we use to present during the show. I'm counting that as one of my days. So technically, this channel will have 6 days, 7 days rather, of content a week, with that being my or 6 days of content on this channel a week, with the seventh day being on Kathy and Kenny explain pop culture. If you are into such things, check us out. I'm a baby boomer, he's a Gen X, but we're both latchkey kids, and we just have started during the pandemic and just continue to talk pop culture. So if that's something that interests you, by all means, check it out. Now, for this live, I just wanted to focus on or talk a little bit about uh, the experience I had this past holiday weekend. And I know most of you were cooking out or staying in because throughout the country, it was just ridiculously hot, crazy hot, hot Atlanta hot. And speaking of hot Atlanta, I was in Atlanta, which is why I have the little uh, podcast summit logo up there. April, I am going back. Excuse me. Uh, mm, hydrate. July 4th and 5th was a 2 day podcast summit in Atlanta, Georgia at the Hilton Hotel. Lovely hotel. And you know what? I have to say, I kind of like Georgia because even when I stopped at a convenience store to get like a drink and a little snack and gas. The men held the door. I mean, it was nice. There was so much door holding for me in Georgia. I just, I'm in the South. I'm in North Carolina, which I know it's North, but it's still the South. And you don't see that, but you had it in Georgia. And I just have to say, Georgia, I like it. I likes the holding of the doors. But in any case, at the podcast summit. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, I didn't get to experience any of the breakout sessions. I was there with my staff badge because I was staff and I was there to work. And I did work. I mean, we had some 12-hour days. I was a part of the ECAM fam, and in fact, not employed by ECAM, just a user and a fangirl of ECAM. So with that, I had a chance to help people get set up. And for a lot of them, it was their first time recording for their podcast. So they got to take like a video clip with them, which I thought was totally amazing. It was the ECAM Content Lounge, sponsored by Podcast Summit, Ecamm, and Shure Microphones. So basically, in these like pod type areas, and I grabbed a couple pictures so you can see. It's like a little house, and basically it can seat like two people. But you know what? We did have some people that went up as high as four people in the booth to kind of conduct an interview. And it was a really simple and easy setup with a Mac Mini, which right now you can probably get it for under $500, like 479. A Mac Mini, a Philips screen, and the cords running to USB. We actually needed adapters because we had USB A to the USB Cs in the Shure MV7 Plus microphones, and then we used cords to run USB C to Lightning for the iPhones. Unfortunately, we didn't have the right cords to work the Androids. So I don't think the Android phones wound up working, but that was okay. We wind up pulling it off between myself and Lewis having two like iPhones just on our person. We were able to kind of swap out our phones and make sure that the attendees got to actually take a video uh, recording home with them, because a lot of times we would airdrop it once we had the file if they didn't have a thumb drive to send it to. But Lewis was actually uploading files to the clouds so that he could email them to people. But it was just a way to share the content that they were able to create. And again, it was just exciting to see so many people creating and a lot of them asking, how are you doing this? How do you know this software so well? And I don't consider myself an Ecamm expert at all, but evidently I'm expert enough to help someone. So that was one of my key takeaways from the week, was that you don't have to know everything, but you can know a few things to help people who are behind. And actually during the week, it was actually 2 days, but it felt like a week. It felt that long. I recorded some thoughts as far as, what I was thinking and really thinking in the moment. So I wanted to share that video with you now as a part of this live recording, because this is just unedited video that I actually recorded directly in one of the pods. Hi, it's Kathy. I am here live at Podcast
And for
Summit
some reason, I don't hear
2024
sound
in
on it.
Atlanta,
And I
Georgia,
heard
4th of
sound when I
July
recorded it
weekend.
earlier.
And I am in one of the podcast booths, especially
That's
set up in the
disappointing because
Ecamm
it had
Live
sound
Content
earlier.
Lounge for
And
you to enjoy. So if you're here at the summit, make sure you make your way
so
over.
I'm not
This way
quite
you
sure what
can get
happened
that
to the
podcast
video.
you've been thinking about doing
That is a
off the
bummer.
ground. Really
Oh, you
easy,
know
really
what? I
simply.
think I
Tons of great
know
speakers, tons
what might
of
have
great
happened. Let
vendors,
me come back to my
all
scene. I Well, no, it says movie. There's sound for the movie. And I wonder if you can hear it on that end. Well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and play it. And if you can't hear it, let me know in the comments. If not, we'll let it run. And if when I go back and look at this video, I will edit it down so that, again, it's something that can be shared. Hi, it's Kathy. I am here live at Podcast Summit 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia, 4th of July weekend. And I am in one of the podcast booths, especially set up in the Ecamm Live Content Lounge for you to enjoy. So if you're here at the summit, make sure you make your way over. This way you can get that podcast you've been thinking about doing off the ground. Really easy, really simply. Tons of great speakers, tons of great vendors, all for you to enjoy here at Podcast Summit in Atlanta, Georgia. This has just been a very exciting, eye opening experience for me. Just getting to meet people and meet podcasters, some folks who are way in their journey, some folks who are just starting out, some folks who haven't even started their journey. But if you're on the fence, thinking about starting, not sure what to do, how to do it, Ecamm Live is an excellent software to get you started on that journey. And these booths that are set up are a great way to kind of dip your toe into the water. And I'm sure once you take that dip, you will be ready to dive. It is so much fun and just so important that we share our stories, share our message, because you don't know who you can impact. And using the software like Ecamm Live is an excellent way to do it. I am a fan. Yes, I'm fangirling. I was fangirling earlier when I met Omar El Takori from the video department and Think Media, and I am still fangirling on just the experience of meeting so many new podcasters, seasoned podcasters, and podcasters of color. It's just been an amazing conference, and we're like just in the middle of day one. So if you have a story to tell, if you have lives to impact, what are you waiting for? Come by, check it out. This is one of the best places to be right now here on the 4th of July. Atlanta, Georgia is lit with Podcast Summit 2024.
I love dealing with the technical and again, learning one new thing every time I stream. And I realized I actually had it going on the background on my Instagram account. So I was like, whoa, wait, why am I hearing this? I was actually hearing uh, a duplicate voice on Instagram for some reason, and I apologize for that. But in any case, one of the biggest or greatest uh, moments for me for a podcast was getting to be at one with the Ecamm fam because I know a lot of times we are online and we are Ecamm fam online, but we actually did get to take a group picture. So there we are, Caleb, Doc, Lewis, Janice, Michelle, just Joe, Steve Wicks. It was just a hoot and a half with so many people just kind of pitching in and helping out. And like I said in the video, one of the things that I noticed that there were people who actually have all the stuff. There's one guy I met. He's like, I got all the stuff. I just don't know how to plug it all in. And I'm like, oh, that's the easy part. Call me. I mean, we'll Zoom. We'll do something. I can help you figure it out. I wouldn't want to even charge anybody for that because I know that feeling. I like unboxing new cool stuff, but plugging it in, hooking it up, and then have it not work. That's the scary part, but it is possible. And it was just so exciting to see the range of people too who had stories, messages to share, and purposes. I met one woman whose podcast is called Senior Brunch, and she was an older woman, but she's just amazing with stories and interviews and things to share. There were a couple of young people, like a kid who couldn't have been any more than like 9 or 10, and it was interested in podcasting, so he was there, his mom brought him there. I'm like, "Oh, I love that. I love that, like, energy and support." So his mom brought him there, and he got in the booth and recorded a podcast. Because, like I said before, these booths were amazing, so it was just kinda cool that people could jump in or meet somebody, do the networking, find out that, hey, they were a perfect fit for their podcast and do an interview right on the spot and using some of the Ecamm backgrounds and overlays. And you probably saw it in that little clip. We had like little firecrackers and stuff because, hey, 4th of July. But they were able to get that copy. And for some of them, they even got just the raw copy where it's just, the picture of them so that they could go back and take it and edit it and make it their own. So a lot of cool stuff happening with Podcast Summit and kind of the kick in the butt I needed to keep on with this challenge, to keep going for 31 days, creating content, learning something new each day. I mentioned three things that I am working on. Again, learning something new each day, or even if it's not learning something new, but maybe perhaps perfecting. my workflow as far as being able to edit videos and edit shorts and that kind of thing. I'm also hoping to vlog and kind of document my journey as I turn 60 and this marathon. Hopefully, I'll be able to complete, as well as finding my niche, because on my channel I've tried a couple different things and I don't really know where I fit in and where I serve. But I know this weekend was a good place for me to start, because there are folks who don't know as much about podcasting and streaming as I've learned over the past 5 years. Even starting out with my podcast, The Year of APing Dangerously, where I interview educational leaders. I know a few things, so I feel like I can help a few people. So if you're one of those people, let me know in the comments. Thanks for checking out this video. My name is Kathy Walker. We're on the road to 60. I hope to see you again. I feel like I should have some fancy graphic. Well, you know what? I can pull a graphic of what the road looks like. And this is the road we're taking to get to 31 videos, or 31 pieces of content in 31 days. We're going live on Mondays, live on Fridays, publishing shorts as well as publishing videos. So we will catch you in the shorts tomorrow.